started with the sentence completion stuff, and I've been working on that, so it's starting to feel a little better.
You mean it feels better to do it, or it feels better after you do it? I'm confused.
It feels better after I do it because I'm learning about. I find I'm learning about myself, like just by repeating the stuff and what's coming out. I just feel like I'm learning about myself and about trusting myself and trusting my thoughts and trusting my mind.
After
And I'm doing.
After one
Sorry?
session? That's amazing.
No,
Great.
no. It's been since Thursday.
Well, that's still only a few days. Good for you.
Yeah.
Are you doing it with your phone, or what are you doing?
So I'm doing with my phone as soon as I wake up,
Uh-huh.
and then when I get to the office, I'm doing the other ones that are on Nathan's website.
Uh-huh.
I'm doing a different batch. They're about self-reliance. So those I'm doing typing right into my computer without thinking.
Good.
And then I'm just keeping a running log of those.
I'm a great believer in self-improvement on company time.
Yeah, that's me.
I am. Yeah. I mean, if you tried to explain to them what you're doing, you say, I'm going to become more self-reliant around here if you just leave me alone. Let me do
my. I'm just typing. I'm just typing up stuff. That's my job.
Every book I've ever written, I wrote on company time.
That's amazing.
Except the Dream Girl series. Yep. Because I'd get to work 2 hours early, and I would just work on my stuff, and then at 8 o'clock I'd start working on their stuff until I realized nobody's paying any attention, and I just kept writing until I felt too guilty or I didn't have anything else to say.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you're probably like the hardest working guy because you were there, the first guy there.
Yeah, but I don't know how to explain it. I'm just really good at being a writer and a tech writer. And when I left Bechtel, they hired 3 people to take my place. And when I left Interstate Electronics, they had to hire 2 people to take my place. And when I first started working at Interstate Electronics, Dick Ramos was my friend who got me in there. After about 4 weeks, he comes over to me and he says, "Hey, John, you better slow down. You're making everybody look bad. They'll fire you." So I said, okay. It's nothing to me. I mean, I can do it. To me, it just seems like, why does anybody have trouble with this? But obviously they do, and I'm glad they do, or they wouldn't pay me.
Right.
Ed Mayer and I would talk about the input we would get for proposals. Ed Mayer is the guy dedicated office politics to. And I would just remark how utterly unbelievable it was to try to get an engineer to write a coherent sentence. And I said, Jesus, they've been to college. They must have had to write something. And he said, shh, we need the job.
Amazing.
Yep, funny stuff. Well, that's the way we were. So how's it going at your work?
It's going okay. Yeah, it's going okay.
People treating you any different?
Oh, it's like night and day ever since we did that stuff around assertiveness. And we talked, I remember in one of the sessions, we talked about how I was acting a little bit like I was making too many jokes and being too much of a goofball. Right. And then that's something I really wanted to work on so that I'm just treated more seriously, treat myself more serious, take myself more seriously. The way I dress is more conservative and just people treat me better. And I'm more direct, more assertive. I do my work. I say no if I have to, and everything seems to be okay. Everything's good.
Good.
Yeah, still working on trying to get a promotion, but that's normal. That's everybody. And gonna pull that off hopefully soon.
How long have you been there?
Oh, in November it'll be a year.
Okay. Well, there must be something in the HR file about a year. I don't know how it works nowadays, but in the old days it was 90 days, 180 days in 1 year, they would tickle your boss to review you. He could even just do it informally by your desk, but he was supposed to say something to you about how you were doing.
Right.
So can you describe a better job or added responsibilities to what you have now that would make you worth more money? Can you say, Jim, I was thinking about maybe I should take on the department scheduling or whatever, something like that. I don't know. Is there anything you could be doing to expand your responsibilities?
Yeah, I mean, there's something that I've been itching to take on, and I told him a few times. So he has me on it, but still with some trepidation. But there's a big project that I'm working on taking on, which involves a lot more finance and accounting, and less of the easy stuff I'm doing. So if I can pull that off, that would be really good.
Yeah, if you can do it, but I mean, I want you to get paid for it.
Well, I think I have to. Don't I have to do it and then say, now that I've done it? No.
No, if you're doing it when the time comes to get a review or discuss a promotion, say I'm doing really well on this XYZ job project, and it's more of a senior analyst position than whatever you're in. I don't know what the hell you're in. I don't know what the next level is.
Right.
But you need to look at the org chart and see where you should be. If you're doing something that only PhDs do or only people in the other department do, whatever, you need to point that out. That you're doing it well too. You've been on time. Nobody's giving you any shit. I mean, do you get feedback on what you do or not?
I get feedback from the boss and from some senior people. Everything seems okay. Never got any negative feedback.
Well, in other words, are you giving the output of whatever you're doing to some other department, or what are you doing with it?
Well, unfortunately, I'm really like a paper pusher type person, so there isn't a lot of output.
Yeah, but paper pushing means you get it in this side, you do something to it, and you push it out that side. That's what paper.
Yeah, that's true.
Who's giving you? I mean, what do you do with what you've done? When all you're done, you just coming up with numbers that don't mean anything to anybody except you, or what?
No, I have to give them to the analyst or to my boss, who then does some sort of presentation with it, presents to the president using the stuff that I've created.
Okay.
So it's kind of like being a behind-the-scenes executive assistant or something.
Yeah, I understand. No, I did a lot of reports that I gave to my boss that he changed and gave to his boss so he could give it to the big boss. And that was always part of another presentation up in San Francisco. But the feedback I would get would only be, you fucked up. That number shouldn't have been whatever it was. But I never got any good compliments except when I asked. I said, how did it go with Steve, or how did it go with Ike, whatever I say, regarding the numbers on the prime prospects? You have to remind them, because the guys that are actually producing are busy producing, and they're not paying any attention to where they got the stuff they're working with. So you remind them once in a while. That helps get you up higher in their opinion.
Okay, good point.
You got to blow your own horn, Mom said. Like if you strike up a conversation with somebody in the cafeteria or something, be sure to introduce yourself and shake hands. You know, you're standing in line and talking about the Montreal Canadiens maybe getting a real player this year, or somebody or whatever they're talking about. And they talk and you say, oh, by the way, I'm Joe, I work up in such and so. And they'll shake your hand. That's how you meet the people that can get you out of your department and further up the food chain. Cafeteria, company, clubs and games, sports, volunteering for important things, not unimportant things, but volunteering for important things like the 5-year plan. That's all in the book. 5-year plan, that gets you a lot of visibility. The newsletter, anything the boss doesn't like to do, do it because he has to interact with somebody to get whatever he's doing from somewhere. And it gives you a chance to meet the big boys. So that's my free tip for the day. Job thing going, Mike. We were talking about thinking about the questions you're worried about when you get out there for the interviews.
Well, I will confess that I spent my weekend getting drunk, getting laid, and going climbing, and I haven't spent.
Your subconscious is not working on it. That's weird. Usually something like that.
My subconscious has been at work, but it's a lot of my brain space has been consumed by intoxicants and pleasures.
Yep.